I'm doing all right. Love and peace, happiness and togetherness. Sounds like a good motto to me. I love
it. Well, welcome back to Wook Plus. I am Weekend Wook, joined by Kev the Great Went. Kev, happy Tuesday. Happy Mohegan Sun Arena show day. I thought that was a fucking lovely show. What did you think?
It had good points. It had bad points. Solid first set. Second set, I was half happy with.
See, I was the opposite. I was half happy with the first set, and I thought the second set was really something, really exceptional. But I guess you know what we'll do? We'll go through it and do what we do, and then we'll decide in the end. So, boom, there it is. Coming out with Martian Monster, I think is a fun way to get things going. I love the Thrill and Chillin' Halloween, and I'm glad that hasn't died, right? There's been so many new gimmicks since then, you know, it could have easily have fallen to the wayside, but I'm happy to see it still showing up on occasion, and I thought it was a nice little jam to start things off.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this first set is very touching on every era, like we were saying at the set break hang. I was calling it the PHiSH Eras Tour because you had the Halloween song to open, which is fun, got everyone loose. The band was into it. Then you went into Rift, which is a solid composition, knocked it out of the park. Nothing special, but a straight reading of it that they nailed.
Yeah, it was very clean. And there was a couple. It's funny. This set had 3 of the probably 4 songs that I think they fucked up the most over the last like 5 years, being Rift, Guyute, and Walls. They just have had really bad times with them. And right off the rip with Rift, I think they nailed it. It was a very clean version. So, you know, that was awesome. And then in the first set, a pretty sizable golden age. That was fun to get there. I really like this jam. I mean, I don't think it's, you know, one of the all-time golden ages, but for having it in the first set, I really enjoyed that.
The first golden age that's been in a first set in all its times it's shown up. It's never
right. I know you said that, and that's wild. I believe you, but that's just one of those stats that's like hard to believe, right? It's like,
and I feel like we talked about this a little bit earlier, you and I, that the third 4 song every night has been a monster, and you said, well, this isn't really a monster, but a 16-minute golden age in the 3 spot is a monster.
I know. You want to bring that fight back up? I was just the argument. I was just saying, compared to the last pattern, you set it up as if it were the same pattern from last year, where we were talking about the mega jams. But no, you're right. The biggest jam of the set has been in the 3 spot.
And it's some great songs, some second setters, Down with Disease, this, Sand. Yeah. I forget what the other one was. There was another one the other night.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Gumbo, small bowl of gumbo, and you keep trying to talk me down off the ledge that I'm never going to get that extra large serving anymore.
No, I'm just saying enjoy the bite of gumbo, because sure, we all want a big helping of it, but if you go through life only wanting big helpings and not enjoying the taste you get, then you're never going to be satisfied. So I'm just saying, hey, it wasn't the biggest one, it wasn't the craziest one, but it was fun, right? It had that je ne sais quoi of the crazy, you know, fun gumbo, and I liked it. So that's all. Yeah, I mean, maybe one day we'll get a monster gumbo again, and it's been a while, but I thought PHiSH sounded pretty good. He was kind of held back, you know, he gave a taste of it, but it was still for what he gave us. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, you know, it's Paige's chance to shine. I just wish that he shined more.
Yeah. I thought, well, listen, Paige and PHiSH were very tight and locked in at the end. And, it, you know, while Paige is doing a solo, normally PHiSH just cuts right the fuck out. But he kind of lingered there for 4 to 6 bars. And I liked it. It was, I don't know, it was fine.
Nope. And a Funky Bitch, I feel like was a real highlight. They were tight on it. I mean, we were talking earlier again about how it's one of the older songs in the catalog. They've been doing it since the mid 80s. So it's really nice to hear, you know, and again, a tight version. This was, besides the Golden Age so far, we had, you know, just your standard regular version of a song, well played, you know, here's our song. Here's, you know, where we were at this moment in our career.
Yeah, and it also was where we were at in the moment of the set, meaning that this is not a traditional set by any means. It's not something I could have in a million years guessed, but not once through this whole first section did I feel like anything was way out of place. The flow and the energy of the set worked really well. I didn't know I wanted to hear Funky Bitch in that moment, but it's exactly what I wanted to hear when they started playing.
Exactly. Fun song. So you
Guyute's
think
another
they
one.
nailed it, huh? You're saying they nailed the Guyute?
All right, well, you're gonna force me to be slightly critical. I don't think it was perfect. I think they got a little bit, the tiniest bit off towards the end. It wasn't as tight as it has ever been, but it felt very much cleaner and more on point than it had been. And I mean,
Right.
I would say it's probably 2018 or 2019 is when I started realizing that Guyute was like something was wrong. Like I think
Right.
about that Charleston show in 19. If you
Yeah.
go back and listen to that Guyute,
Train wreck.
it was a
Train wreck.
train. And like the MSG one a couple years ago was really bad. And like it's not, there's been a number of them. So like this one wasn't perfect, but Trey had it in his fingers. PHiSH, you know what? So PHiSH missed a couple steps, but he made good decisions and he hit it, right? You couldn't tell unless you're paying super close attention that he lost a bunch of those notes.
That's what I was going to say is I don't notice that. I listened to that Guyute. I was like, good job, guys. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't. I've heard so many of them maybe that I should notice that, but when the Guyute's good, it's good. That 19 one though, I remember watching the webcast and the stream and being like, what is going on? I was having glide flashbacks.
Well, it's always during the jig part where it's like digga, and like one if you cut off on your timing of that,
one note off and you've ruined it.
Yeah, it's done. And like or PHiSH coming in with the fill, right? Where he starts really fast and the big fill into the ba ba ba. That part he's been off. And so tonight they were on, and in the context of the last like 5 Guyutes, I thought this one was great. And really, like it was almost like PHiSH was talking to me directly because I was starting to think at the end of Guyute, I was like, fuck man, does PHiSH still like Fisherman still have it? And then they go into Undermind, and he's just octopus machine again, doing the crazy linear mumbo jumbo beat. And I was like, yeah, he still has it. Like he might not have 100% chops that he has, but he's still a phenomenal drummer and absolutely fucking killed Undermind. So I was like, all right, thanks, PHiSH. You know, you answered my question.
Normally a rare sighting, getting a 2.0 song. We ended up with 2 of them here, but thought again, Undermined, well played, nothing special. Here's the song, enjoy it. And I am a huge fan of that song. You had a little bit of a pseudo drum solo at the end. Trey looked over at Fishman and was like, go ahead, show off a little bit there for the last 10 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, that's his thing, right? That's one of his show off highlight songs, which normally when you get like a Gumbo or you know what's another one that fills that role is like Meat, right? Like where you have the big drums and an Undermine. That's like a PHiSH heavy set. These were like had that potential, but they were kind of like neutered a little bit. They were like you get a little bit of PHiSH, but then not the full gambit. But I think he did a phenomenal job. And then we get into a weirder kind of slower pace portion of the
well, you knew it was coming. I mean, I couldn't believe that we made it this far into the 4th show and Evolve hadn't shown up yet.
Yeah, and I think it's fine. I mean, listen, I think it's pretty well documented and established that it's not my favorite song, but I don't mind it. It's quick and it's not like hard to listen to, right? Like it's actually fairly easy on the ears. So like there are songs that I really kind of cringe when they play. This is like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like they play, it doesn't bother me. It's not my favorite, but it's fine. You get through it. Yeah, I'm with Mike. Like it's probably a good time to go grab a beer, hit the bathroom. and get back. Not Undermind though, Evolve.
I liked Waste there.
Yeah, me too. I love that song.
It's usually an encore, so it was nice to see it as a slow down. Even though it was like Evolve, it's not necessarily a slow song, but it never gets past a gallop. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like it. I think it works really well in that spot.
No. And then another 2.0 song. And again, you're a fan of the I feel like Walls falls into that Mercury thread thing I talked about with so many lyrics.
Yeah, but Walls, well, ironically, I was just talking about the few times it doesn't deliver. Like I'm thinking about that Man version and it was just atrocious.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's pretty high batting average as a closer. This is like the original, like not the original, but one of like, the Well when it starts and you're like, oh man, this song. And then it gets to the end and you're like, oh, I love this song. I always think that with Walls. I'm like, oh man, and then like I'm like, oh yeah, that whole part at the end is such a big fun way to end the set. And really, I mean, for modern, like I mean it's 2.0, but for like a modern song, I think it's one of the better closers, right? Like not on the same page as like Lope or Hood or whatever, but like out of the modern closers, I think it's one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
No.
Anyway,
if you were there, you enjoyed it.
Hell yeah. Listen, if I were, well, no, I mean, at home on the couch, I enjoyed this set, immensely. But if I was there, I would have been feeling it. Like, I think that was a very strong set.
I liked it so much, I came over and liked and subscribed.
You too. You should too. We will be back every PHiSH show 15 minutes after Encore. Then after tour, Liv will return, and then the Sunday morning show will return.
And What Club will return.
So all our normal program is going to return after tour. But in the meantime, hang out with us for all the after shows and become a member. You hit join, and then you can come hang out with us during set break. We usually
you can follow us on Discord.
Oh yeah, join our Discord. That's fun. There's been a lot of good conversations going on there, and then all the other socials. Although I'm thinking about finally.
No, you
quitting.
aren't. Stop.
Yeah, fuck that.
Because then we're only going to follow 2 people out of What Plus.
It's gonna end up just being you.
All right, exactly. Then I can unmute myself.
I do think the flubbing from the weekend is mostly past. I agree, Darkstar. All right, let's get into the second set. I don't know, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Half happy. This 4-piece to start the set is some of the finest playing I've heard from them in a while. I think this Plasma Jam was inspired. It's so funny because during the set break we were talking about like Mr. Completely, and I mean, like, and certain songs that fill that. I don't know how to describe it, but like there's that certain flavor of PHiSH that they have gotten away from that, and I think Plasma fits that role very well, and it was very cool. A very cool jam they gave us for it.
I'm a huge fan, and for a long time it seemed Plasma never got past the 7-8 minute mark, or it weaved in and out of a set. You get a couple little short plasmas. I think the last one, maybe the one before that too, they've given it some space. The one at the Sphere, because it was Plasma Night, so that one had had some girth to it, and I really enjoyed this, and I really enjoyed the Kill Devil Falls. I felt like they had gone down a nice, funky little dirty hole, and
it got a little dark in there. It was more like I kept thinking of it more as a soundscape or like this sonic experience, which, like, I know I'm not trying to be like all hippy dippy about it, but like a lot of times you get real like groove heavy, or like jazzy or blues heavy like jams.
Yeah.
This had the nice grooves to it, but like it really just fully encompassed the room and filled it with this very thick soundscape, and I think that's like a neat thing that they can do. That it sounds like 10 times more than 4 instruments,
right.
Playing.
It's neat when they choose the Kill Devil Falls to do that, because it's
I
not something that you expect.
Yeah, I did not know because Kill Devil Falls is in that like 46 days in my mind. It's like that
straight ahead rock
one monster, just, and like there's, don't get me wrong, there's been huge Kill Devil Falls and 46 days jams, but it's been a while since they gotten out there with it like this. So yeah, I
Yes,
thought that was great.
I have seen people mention that, Michael, that the one at Syracuse was better than the one tonight, but I don't know.
I remember the Q's tweezer. I don't remember the Q's Kill Devil Falls. I'll have to go back.
I think it
You
was
listen
at
to
the
that
end of
many
the first
shows,
set,
it's hard.
right? Michael, it was at the end of the first set, right? I think. I may be
Yeah.
making that up. Carini,
Carini.
yay! Carini.
Ironically, I thought Carini was more blissful and like happier in tone than the Plasma and Kill Devil Falls jams, right? Which normally you would expect that to be your dark one, but it was
Mm,
kind of a cool change of pace, right?
well, and the Carinis lately have been a little blissy.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah, we
don't
could do a
get that.
tracker on that, the bliss meter of Carinis, and see how it
Right.
changes over time.
Um, yeah, I mean, it
Oh,
was
so
good.
blissy.
Good. And I'm glad that it wasn't an encore, that it was in the middle of a set, because it's been ending up as an encore and things like that. Like, which I feel for a song like Carini is, it becomes an afterthought. Carini needs some real estate in the second set.
Yeah. I think they probably could have done a lot more with it, but with what they had done before it and what they did after it, who am I to complain? I did think it was really, really freaking sweet how PHiSH landed back in that original tempo and groove so perfectly. Like they were off somewhere, I don't know, Blissville, and like he just kind of like locked in. He was like, boop, we're right here, right at the top again. And they've been doing that with all of these, right? Returning to the head. And like, I mean, I don't always love when they do that, but when they nail it, it is kind of a neat effect. The reminder of like, where are they? Like, what are
Right.
we in? And then you're like, oh yeah, we're in Carini, and like he just fucking locked in, and it was a cool moment, right? You're just like, oh yeah, like hell yeah, let's go.
And I feel like Trey liked it so much after they did the song proper of Ruby Waves, they went back to that.
Yeah. Did you like the Ruby Waves jam?
Yeah, Ruby Waves jams are always okay. My issue with I can't do the lyric, man. Just not there. It isn't my song.
I gotta teach you the way. The way is to just not listen to the words, man. Just fixate on the bass line. Throw a little groove in your ear. You know what I mean? Oh, what's PHiSH doing with his left foot? Oh, what's Mike doing? And then I'm
Can
saying,
Ruby,
oh, they're singing. I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. It's fine.
I got an idea. What if they did a dub version of Ruby Waves?
Like a dubstep?
Yeah, no, just like a dub version where they took the vocals out.
Oh, that'd be cool. That's kind of how I hear it.
That would be perfect. And what, man, I feel like I feel like it's a slap in the fan base's face to do a 6-minute Piper.
All right, I barely remember the Piper. It was
You
kind
blinked,
of
you missed it.
yeah, it was in and out. I don't want to agree with you here, but that's not the one to do like that. But I think at this point, right, we had such phenomenal jamming for 4 jams in a row. I think that like part of me was kind of like satiated, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Let's finish strong. It got a little bit off with Piper into Mercy. I don't know, man. Like I like Mercy. I think it's grown on me. I don't think it was the best version,
You
but
didn't think those vocals were off? Like somebody was singing out of key or off beat or something?
yeah, maybe.
It sounded funky to me. And I'm just not that's the thing. Not a fan of that one. And we knew the Everything's Right was coming because it's been 4 shows and Everything's Right is heavy in the rotation. So
I kind of liked it. I mean, I'm not confident enough to be like, oh, it was or wasn't, but I actually remembered listening to a thing like, damn, that's fucking beautiful. Like I don't know, like that's what I said when we came on here before. I was like, kind of worked for me. Like it really, I don't know.
people
I'll
are
go back
telling
and
me that
listen
I'm
and let you
wrong.
know.
People are telling me that I'm wrong.
Okay, good. You made me second guess myself. Because I like I said, I won't listen to it, and I was like, man, it's fucking beautiful. But then you said it sucks, so I'm like, Yeah, the Sphere Mercy I remember that was when it first came around for me, Chuck, and then this one I thought was really awesome too. And then listen,
Where were
everything's right is it's fine, and I think it's a strong way to end the set. It's not my favorite,
where-
but I think it was a very, a decent cap to a very strong set.
right? And now the encore made up for any qualms I had about the second set because they were two songs I really love, and I feel like both of them they stepped up. Again, it's a first set thing. They were solid versions that didn't vary far from where they normally are, but just both the performance of them. I mean, when you see a Julius, I know people make fun of Julius, but everybody's moving their butt when Julius is playing. And About to Run has really become this huge arena rock monster for him, even more so than maybe a Santos at this point.
Yeah, I love Julius, and I like that he's not doing as much broccoli with it. I was pretty upset when he started doing the weird vocal intonation and all the weird inflections on it. And I don't think he did that tonight. I think it was a pretty solid Julius. I I was gonna say PHiSH sounded phenomenal on it, but Mike Scriven is pointing out that it was a little bit slower, so that's probably why it sounded so good. Yeah, and then About to Run is, it's the best. It's literally, I think the best goes to the 4 songs by a long shot. And for a new song, it's very, very high up on my personal rankings. Like, I think it's just an absolutely phenomenal song. So it's a cool way to end the show.
Very cool way. So that was quick, but I think we're both a little worn out. I mean,
I'm just a little tired. I had a long day. We woke up super early, but
we got hopefully we got T back tomorrow. He might be seeing a movie or something, so we never know what's going to be happening over there.
Saw a movie tonight, man. It's fine. If he's here, he's here. And if not, we'll hang out with you.
Miss T.
You're such a grumpy. You're so grumpy.
I am grumpy. That's what I said. I'm gonna go to bed. Love you guys.
Like, subscribe.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Later.